So about 14 miles out of Farmington, Utah, there is a peak called Francis Peak. And right next to the peak, there are two air traffic control towers, and I've always called them the towers. So I talked to Spartacus the other day when we had some free time, and I asked him if he thought the Beep Beep, which is what they call our Wrangler Unlimited, would make it all the way up there. And as you can see from our little mapping here, it's just a windy road, goes from the normal elevation of Farmington all the way up to about 9,500 feet above sea level. The road is really chill. We actually had a really good time mobbing up there. It's a really pretty drive. There's pretty views, especially once you get up to the top. And if you are curious as to whether or not you can make it all the way up there in a Wrangler Unlimited Sport, just keep watching for a second. You'll find out. So this road we're mobbing up right here definitely goes all the way up to the towers, but it's not quite Jeep worthy. Maybe in a side-by-side or some type of other utility vehicle, but not in the Beep Beep. I didn't think it was safe to risk it, especially with the monkey and Spartacus sitting in the back seat. What's up, everybody? I'm B with Pray for Snow Auto Detailing. Super pumped that you're here. As you saw from the introduction, today we're going to be working on a 2014 Wrangler Unlimited in Billet Metallic Clear Coat. Silver color, really pretty. I think it's really pretty because it's my personal Jeep. Yesterday with the family, we took it up to the top of the Wasatch Mountains and got it a little bit dusty, so I'm going to show you how I do a quick maintenance wash. I also have a new product from the last coat to protect the plastic. I'm super excited to try this new product and see how it ends up. To get things going with this detail, we are going to get everything rinsed off. We do have a ton of dust on this from our little mobbing trip up the mountains, so we got to get that all rinsed off before we can start working on the trim restoration. When I went to wash off the undercarriage, I realized a bunch of rocks were falling out, and I couldn't quite place as to why I had a bunch of rocks under there. And then I remembered when I filmed this clip, and if you check it out right here, I actually bottomed out. My breakover point wasn't quite good enough, and there's all that dust pouring out, and a ton of rocks came out from under there too. Since this is a maintenance wash on a ceramic coated vehicle, I want to make sure to use the proper soap, and the soap that I'm going to use today is the Adams Graphene Ceramic Shampoo. It is specifically designed for vehicles that are coated with their awesome graphene ceramic coating. I'll include the link in the description below. It is an awesome product. Literally, the Wrangler Unlimited has been one of my favorite vehicles of all time. I have absolutely loved the adventures we've gone on in it, and I love the look of it. I love the styling. It's super capable. One thing that I do not love is how much trim is on there. It just, you can't make trim look as good as paint, or at least that's been my experience. So after I did the ceramic coating on the paint, of course I compounded and polished and made the paint look pretty epic. And then I did the ceramic trim on the paint. I also did it on the trim because with that Adams Graphene ceramic coating you can, and I love the performance of that on the paint. However, on the trim, it looked good for a bit. Then it kind of went back to that faded look. Water still beat it up on it okay, but it didn't look as good as it did when I first did it. So I was looking for another solution. I wanted to find some way of making that trim look amazing. Now there are a ton of products out there, and I've read reviews and I've tried a bunch of different stuff, but I just couldn't find one that I just gravitated to. And then I came across this Ceratrim from the brand The Last Coat. This is an unsponsored video, just so you know. So I read the reviews on it, and it seems like it's one that doesn't have a lot of bleeding like some of those other products do. The reviews seem pretty solid. I want to give it a try because, like I said, I love how good the Wrangler looks right now. I love the vehicle. I want to keep it for a long time, but I want it to look as epic as it can for as long as it can. So I want to make sure to eliminate this fading of the plastic. You know, it just turns white, and there's so much trim on the outside of the vehicle that I've got to do something. So this is my attempt to fix or remediate that.
Alright, so the kit came with a couple of simple things. You've got the thank you card from The Last Coat, which includes instructions, or excuse me, a link to the instructions on how to do it, the bottle of Ceratrim, you have a cap so that you can apply it more easily, and then an applicating sponge. The instructions are super simple. You want to wash the vehicle, obviously use some APC or something to get down in there. You want to use a non-wax-based soap, and you want to make sure that you have a really as clean of a surface as you can get. You want to apply it, and then you want to let it sit for, I don't know, 5 to 20 minutes depending on the shape of your trim. You just want it to make sure that you give it some time to dwell, and then after that you wipe it off with a microfiber. I wanted to include a before and after in here so that you guys can tell me what you think. So down below in the comment section, please tell me what you think. Here's the after, here's before. What is your guys' thoughts? I was really impressed and I really liked it. So I did end up abandoning the applicating sponge and going with just a normal microfiber. I couldn't get around some of the corners and the nooks and crannies that were on this rear bumper with that sponge. It was just a little bit too hard, so I went with this, but it worked everywhere else, especially those really flat bumpers. And as I mentioned in the intro to this video, the Jeep has a ton of trim, so I definitely had a lot of areas to test it on. Alright, once again, this is B with Brave for Snow Auto Detailing. Super pumped you joined us for this. This was one I was really pumped about because we had a little bit of adventure at the start. We got to film some of that. It was fun mobbing over those hills and stuff. But I was also really excited to get this one filmed because I really like how this turned out. We're a couple weeks after this filming when I'm making this video, so I was pumped. I'm pumped about the after performance. I'll try and get a little short video posted of how well this held up. But definitely know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff helps us out. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, and look for a video next Monday.